So it's August 16th, 2024. This is the monster right here. This is the bad one. I've paint on my hands from a project I was doing earlier. So in the past number of days, it's rude, don't do that. In the past number of days, I have figured out that my children are victims of parental alienation, extreme parental alienation, and that I am a targeted parent of parental alienation. In the case of my youngest, I always thought that I'll just stick with gender neutral at the moment to try to reveal as little details about them as possible as far as our identity is concerned. I always thought that they basically had suffered frontal lobe damage prior to birth or at birth, and that they therefore, and also due to genetics, that they were a sociopath due to their behaviors, which were extremely vicious, cunning in a way, just vicious and vindictive and manipulative and bizarre. And I am basically going to have to be getting into the details of that at some point. And the older child, I thought that he, and I'm stating gender because I've already revealed it prior, I thought that he wasn't brainwashed. I knew that the younger one was brainwashed, for sure. I knew that for sure. But I thought that they also had suffered frontal lobe damage. And I'll get into why and everything at some point. But now I realize that's very rude. Don't do that. You're on video. Now I realize that they may not, that they probably did not suffer frontal lobe damage that would cause, it was parental alienation. I believe it was parental alienation all along with the younger one, and with the older one, who I thought was not brainwashed, who I thought was wise to what was going on by themselves, by himself. Not because of what I told him. It's not true. He is as far gone as the younger one, I believe. And I have just figured this out in the past number of days. And the person who is doing it, who has done this, is proven guilty of many other forms of child abuse. and is still perpetrating child abuse, potentially beyond the parental alienation. And children who are abused in any and all sorts of ways, they will actually cling to that abusive parent. It actually functions as if it was a positive, the abuse. The more ways they're abused, the more severely they're abused, the more they want that abusive parent. So it's not even any kind of deterrent, which I understand by the studies, psychological studies and whatnot. I understand that that's what the data indicates. But my mental and psychological makeup and that of numerous family members of mine, that would not be the case. We would not go for that, but I'm sure others in my family would, and I don't understand what the difference is. And it just, so they're both, all my children are gone due to this, lost. And because of who the abuser is and what he has done and is doing and will always do, and how damaged they are, there is no remedying it. There's no remedying it. And I am suddenly propelled into this realization and this new dimension of this reality. And realizing I don't see how there's any hope for remedy. And I will definitely be getting into the hows and whys and everything else of that. And there are things that I set up with so much work and so painstakingly that I can't even get into those things, because the abuser is constantly trying to lie and deceive and manipulate to steal more and more and more. And there is no limit, from what I could see, to what he will lie about and do and try to use the system to do, to steal more and more money, whatever, assets. If I have them or not, he tries to steal them. It doesn't even matter if I don't have the assets, he claims I do. It doesn't matter if I have the money or not, he claims I do. So I can't talk about anything positive. I can't talk about anything positive that I had been, trying to have for my children when they grow up. I had been striving to have something for them, not at their 18th birthday or 19th birthday, not immediate like that, because obviously there's reasons why. But by the time they got significantly older, and by the time the impact of the abuse hit them, and could potentially cause them to suffer, could potentially cause them to not be able to function. There's things that I wanted set up for them. And in the absence of being able to obtain any assistance, any support, any justice, I thought I could focus on that so that when it hit them at that future date, they would have something to fall back on. And now I'm realizing that future date, it's never going to happen. They're too far gone. And the abuser has done things and is continuing, I'm sure, to do things, really stupid things, senseless, like all of this is. That could lead to them no longer being alive due to his actions. 100% due to his actions. And I believe he's going to continue. And there's nothing I can do about it. And I cannot even warn them. The parental alienation is maximum. They believe all of the lies. They have no capacity for any critical thinking. They have no interest in any evidence. I have ample evidence, ample. But they will, from what I'm seeing, they will never have any interest in evidence or in discussion. And there are visceral recordings just embedded in my psyche of things he did to them that I had to witness that cause a panic. And when I see him doing more, it creates that panic, and then I react. You could think of it like dog whistle, but it's like dog whistle echo. I guess they call it dog whistle. It's a kind of a new term in narcissistic abuse. And of course, that can be, the reaction can be interpreted to be something other than what it is. But then, for the past number of days, I just had that sense at reading on my older son, that he was long gone a long time ago because of the parental alienation, that he bought all the lies a long time ago. And there were little things he did and said the last times I saw him, which has been a long time because of the alienator. Because of the alienator, I have no contact. And anyway, those little things he did and said made me uneasy, sent up red flags, but I just swept that aside. Just swept it aside and disregarded it and ignored my instinctual interpretation of it. And now, recently, it's become obvious. And so my older son, I think he was deceiving me for years prior. Just playing a part, playing a game. It's bizarre. It's completely bizarre. They're both so brainwashed. No matter what they have witnessed and experienced of the abuse perpetrated by my ex, no matter the level of the abuse, the severity, no matter them knowing, or my older one for sure knowing, that I never perpetrated any abuse, ever. Despite that, it doesn't matter. My younger one, they were brainwashed from the beginning, from the day one. I had no idea what was going on. I was clueless. I was clueless. So my younger one never had a chance. And they behaved in such an evil manner towards me that destroyed any possibility of a bond, because they were so just nasty. And I didn't know why. I mean, I thought I knew why, but I didn't know why. And then I did start to figure out that it was a brainwashing for sure. I figured that out about 5 years ago or so. But at that point, the brainwashing was so complete. I'll get into more details at a different time. But this is just kind of a video of this discovery that is now absolutely solidified, August 16, 2024.